What's up, trader homies? It's your boy Kevin from Touchdown Trades in the Touchdown Trades Trading Bunker, your trading BFF, your stock market bestie. Today we're talking about GENE stock, Genetic Technologies Limited. Made a huge move on Wednesday. We can see the move it made on Wednesday, up huge, over 300% on news that they're coming out with a COVID severity test. And then all of a sudden it tanks and gets halted. It's been halted since Wednesday. It traded over 300 million shares on Wednesday. So you know there's tons of traders trapped in this thing. And I know what's going on with it. There's not a lot of news out there. There's some suspicious, very sketchy stuff going on with this GENE, Genetic Technologies stock. We're going to talk about that today in today's Touchdown Trades market analysis. So stay tuned. All right, trader homies. So this GENE stock, we can see on on Tuesday was trading about $2. They came out with a news PR that they were working on a COVID severity test that would basically allow them to be able to test patients and tell how bad the case of COVID was going to be, which we've never heard any company come out with a test like this. It's brand new. And traders rushed in. They wanted to sink their teeth into this thing and hope and pray that it was going to be the next biotech to make 1,000% move. And it did just that. It just made a huge move. It was a beautiful move. I think it was up over 300% at one point. Every dip was getting bought. It traded over 300 million shares and eventually broke over $10 a share. It was just a beautiful, clean move. Every pullback you could have bought and made money on, as long as you took profit and didn't bag hold. But then we had an ugly sell-off towards the close, selling off from $10.30 down to about $5 after hours. So it gave back about 50% of the move. And then something crazy happened. It got halted. So what in the world is going on with this gene? If you're in this thing trying to swing trade it from this pullback here or up here when it was consolidating, and you're stuck in this thing down 50%, you're probably pretty scared right now, wondering what's going on. So that's what we're going to talk about today. I've done some research on it, and I'm pretty sure I know what's going on with this gene, and it's not pretty. So first, we need to go and look at this article. Nope. So first we need to talk about this executive. He started buying up shares before the news released. He bought 24% more shares. I believe he's the executive chairman of the company before the PR. And that's important because if he bought it after the PR, then he would be saying, okay, I believe in this technology. I'm buying it even though it's up huge because I think it's going to go higher. But he bought it before the PR. We just need to keep that in mind. And then they announced a direct offering, which is super sketchy in itself because the executive is buying shares and then you're going to announce a direct offering the exact same day. That is sketchy, and that is why I believe this thing got halted. Okay, let's take a look at the fundamentals, the float and all that. So we have a float of 6.08 million shares and a shares outstanding of 12 million. It's saying insiders own 86% of the company. So the float is probably actually a lot smaller than 6 million. So now it's easy to understand why this thing started to sell off like crazy, right? Going on here. All right, so we have, what the world? All right, so we have the move up. The float is tiny because a lot of the float is owned by executives in the company. So we're probably dealing with the float says 6 million, but we're probably dealing with like a 2 million share float. So you have This float got turned over 150 times. It traded 300 million shares of volume. Okay? That is just insane. So you have the move up, the tiny float just keeps getting bought up, and then up here you have your executives just dumping shares because they know they're about to announce a direct offering to try to raise, which is the dirtiest move in the book. It should be illegal, and I think that's why the SEC has halted this thing, and they're investigating whether this was a pump and dump, a fake PR, because this Gene came out with a PR using the keyword, and we all know that keyword is COVID. And anytime a biotech in the past few months has came out with a PR with anything to do with COVID, it has jumped up hundreds of percent. Doesn't matter if it's legit or not. Traders are just jumping on that keyword. So we have the COVID PR, and then we have the run up. We have insiders selling, and then SEC saying, wait a second here, you're not going to do that. And then they halt this thing. It says, I have found an article that says it's news pending, but I think that's a bunch of baloney. I think the SEC is investigating this company for a pump and dump, a fake PR, and insiders selling their shares into retail traders wanting to buy the company on the news that they released. And then you have the insiders selling, direct offering announced after hours, and then the SEC saying, hold your horses, this ain't happening. Again, there's not much to go off of based on news on why this Gene got halted. There's only this one article that says news pending. But if we take a closer look, this thing isn't very definitive either. It's just saying it got halted due to news. And I believe you even have to pay to see the article. It's streetinsider.com. But there's nothing really on the internet why it got halted. I think this is an investigation going on by the SEC looking into this executive who's dumping shares onto the open market right before they do a direct offering to try to raise capital, right after they've announced a press release talking about a COVID severity test, which is just BS. How are you going to tell how bad a virus is? That is a bunch of crap. So this Gene has just executed the biggest pump and dump I've ever seen. This is literally the biggest pump and dump that I've ever seen in my life. The most obvious pump and dump. You have a BS press release, okay? With a insider executive buying combined with selling right before a direct offering. It is the most obvious pump and dump scheme I have ever seen in my life, and it is disgusting, and this genetic technology should be ashamed of themselves, and I hope the SEC fines them millions of dollars. And if they come out on Monday with news that the severity test was a success, the trial was a success, and this thing goes to $20 a share, I'll delete this video, eat my words, and I'll call myself an idiot. But that is not what's happening here. This is a pump and dump. And this company, the guy who sold that 24% of this company should go to jail, and his house should be seized, and his kids should have to eat peanut butter sandwiches for the rest of their lives. No, I'm just kidding. That's messed up. But for real, though, this is dirty, and I feel bad for everyone stuck in this BS company. All right, that's going to do it. I hope you guys got something from this video. It just fires me up. Make sure you hit that like button. Subscribe if you have not yet done so. It's a huge favor to me if you hit the like button and subscribe. The only real trading channel on YouTube. I'm not saying we're the biggest trading channel on YouTube, but we are the realest trading channel on YouTube. So hit that subscribe button. I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace out. All my trader homies. Peace.
Drop.